She is a snake. And she's a scorpion. She's a Snorpion.
Andi and Amber have a sleepover and Beck and Bowie reconnect on this week's ANDI MACK. Let's break down the Snorpion right here on What Happened. Another Friday means another episode of ANDI MACK on Disney Channel has graced our TVs or tablets or whatever you actually watch the show on. This episode was a fun one as we got to see Beck and Bowie kind of begin to rebuild their relationship, and some more depth was added to the character of Amber, which I loved. So let's dive into Season 2, Episode 5. First up, Beck's decided to go back to school to get her cosmetology certification, so she's been practicing her cuts and bruises and all her special effects type makeup on Bowie, and I gotta say, she's pretty dang good at it. In fact, Andi even thinks for a split second that Bowie got beat up. Bex just seems super happy now that she's pursuing her dream, and I'm actually happy that Bowie decided to stick around and not run off like he definitely would have in the past. I have to say, these two make a great team. Now for two that don't make a good team, that's Buffy and TJ. TJ is still not happy about having a girl on the basketball team, so at their game, he makes sure that he and his teammates basically shut Buffy out. TJ even ends up stealing the ball from Buffy, his own teammate. Now if that doesn't scream douchebag, I don't know what does. When Buffy and Cyrus see TJ later at the thrift store, Buffy is ready to go give that kid a piece of her mind. But Cyrus suggests maybe go kill him with kindness instead. Buffy reluctantly agrees to go with Cyrus's plan, and she tries to be cordial to TJ and talk to him. And she's like, hey, what can I do to help make this team better? Then TJ just digs his own grave and unleashes Buffy's anger as he tells her to quit. I'm just sitting here wondering if their basketball coach is just freaking blind. Like, I'm pretty sure if any coach saw his team captain being such a poor sport and perform in the basketball game the way that TJ did, yeah, he would get a talking to. And if he saw just how, the other kids were treating Buffy on the team, they'd also get a talking to, because the coach obviously put Buffy on the team for a reason. So what happened to being a team player? Moving on to Andi and Amber, aka the Snorpion. After Buffy's game, the quartet are at the Spoon, and they notice it's taking kind of forever to get their baby taters, and well, let's face it, it's because Amber is their waitress, right? Andi goes to check to see what's wrong, and she overhears Amber on the phone with her parents. Amber tells her dad she's not coming home that night because of the fighting, and she'll find somewhere else to stay the night. She then realizes that Andi is standing there and overheard, and she's like, oh crap, I forgot your baby taters. But then Andi, she's the bigger person and decides, you know what, I'm gonna be nice to Amber, and she genuinely asks Amber if she wants to talk. So the two of them go to a separate booth for a chat, as Buffy, Cyrus, and Jonah kind of stare from afar, confused by the whole situation. And then Cyrus attempts to use his lips reading skills, which are pretty bad, to find out what they're talking about.
Marbles on my trampoline. Hey, I don't move the lips, I just read them.
When Andi returns to the group, she says she thinks she just invited Amber over for a sleepover. Buffy is not shy about sharing her opinions on Amber, and once again points out Amber can't be trusted, while Jonah is sticking with his defense of Amber, saying she's changed. Buffy then tells the story of the scorpion and the frog, and how the scorpion promised to not sting the frog, so the frog agreed to ride on its back, but then the scorpion stung the frog anyway. Buffy says Amber's the scorpion, and since Buffy also previously called Amber a snake, Amber's now dubbed a Snorpion. When Andi and Amber go back to Andi's, Bex is pretty shocked to see Amber as well.
If this is a hostage situation, blink twice.
Amber apologizes for past behavior, saying, being with Jonah made her a little, well, for lack of a better word, mean or crazy. Andi and Amber then head off to Andi's room and kind of sit awkwardly for a bit as they try to figure out what they should be doing. They don't really have much in common. Eventually they see a basket full of wigs and there's makeup, and they have a blast just playing dress up until Buffy and Cyrus interrupt it all with a FaceTime. And of course Amber overhears the conversation. Amber then opens up to Andi, explaining how her dad lost his job and that's what's caused her parents to fight, and that's why she's working at the Spoon. Amber then decides to kick the party up a notch, and the two end up sneaking out, and she takes Andi to the Ferris wheel. And all seems great as Andi climbs onto the Ferris wheel, and Amber lets it run, stopping Andi at the top so she can have this really awesome view of the city. Then when Amber sees Andi's phone ring and it's a call from Jonah with a cute pic of Andi and Jonah as the caller ID photo, yeah, it kinda triggers Amber, and that flash of Mean Girl she's tried to get rid of reappears, and she tells Andi that she can come down if Andi apologizes for stealing Jonah. Andi's like, I didn't steal Jonah, and then they hear police sirens and Amber books it, leaving Andi atop that Ferris wheel and Andy calling Amber a Snorpion. Bex and Bowie then pick up Andy from the police station and they try to be mad, but Bex also feels a little bit proud and jealous that she wasn't invited on this adventure. Andy ends up coming up with her own punishment, which is pretty lenient since Bex and Bowie aren't quite sure exactly how to punish Andy. Now Bex kind of feels like she's a terrible mom. Bowie sweetly tells Bex though she's a great mom, just not a typical one, and the two have kind of a sweet moment. The next day at the Spoon, Amber comes to take Buffy, Cyrus, and Andy's order and is shocked to see Andy's face cut up and bruised. They tell Amber that Andy tried to climb down the Ferris wheel after she left and it just didn't go so well. So now Amber is super apologetic and it actually seems pretty genuine. Andy then reveals that this whole thing, with the cuts and the bruises, has been a prank courtesy of Bex's makeup skills, and now Amber feels even worse. And to add salt to that wound, Jonah comes in and also thinks Andy is hurt and goes straight to her and gives her a big hug, with Amber watching. The episode ends with Bex, Bowie, and Andy eating ice cream and Bex and Bowie having a really cute ice cream fight. Okay, so whether or not Bowie and Bex get back together in a romantic way, I'm loving the friendship these two are rebuilding. They really are adorable together, and it could eventually lead back to romance. And if it does head that way, let's just hope Andy kind of stays out of it this time and lets these two build a relationship on their own. For Amber, I think she really has changed. That one moment was definitely a lapse in judgment at the Ferris wheel, but she previously said in the episode that being with Jonah made her, different for some reason, and when she saw Jonah call Andy, she was kind of triggered back to that time. The seeds of jealousy set in. But I don't think that's who she really is. I think Amber is a good person. She's just kind of going through a hard time, and that one reminder kind of reminded her of something that she herself messed up, and, it just hit a nerve with her. Andy did get to see some of the real Amber, so I am hoping there is a chance at saving that friendship that's starting. But Andy does have Buffy feeding her brain with the Amber is evil stuff, so maybe Buffy should take a second to sit and talk with Amber too, because people can change, don't judge them by their cover, right? Now let's see what's in store for the next episode.
Next on Andy Mack. Should Jonah and I be holding hands by now?
Perhaps you suffer from hyperhidrosis. Sweaty palms?
So if I'm holding Jonah's hand, it can just happen?
Andy, please step over to the table marked A. Jonah, B table. Stay with your group.
This is wrong. Why is your group getting special treatment? Cookies. We won't be able to get any. They're going straight to Group A.
Hi, we're from Group A.
Alright, let me know your thoughts on this episode. Do you have a favorite moment, a favorite line? What do you really think of Amber? Should the group give her another chance? Do you think Bex and Bowie will get back together as a couple? Weigh in the comments section, then you can click right over here to see my latest interview with Sophia Wiley or my video all about the Easter eggs in Disney Pixar's newest movie, Coco. Thanks again for hanging out with me for another TV recap, and I'll see you real soon.